It feels like every single week, right? A new AI model drops, and it's supposedly breaking all the records. But underneath all that hype, there's this huge nagging question. Are these AIs actually ready to do real, complex, professional work? Well, today, we're going to dig into a really groundbreaking project that tried to answer that question by creating what might just be AI's final exam.
So let's just cut right to the chase. Is an AI ready to do your job? And maybe the even more important question is, how would we actually know? Like, for real? What's the test that proves it one way or the other?
You know, the way we usually measure the impact of new tech is kind of like driving while looking in the rearview mirror. We look at stuff like GDP growth or how many companies are using the tech. But those are lagging indicators. By the time we see those numbers, the revolution has already happened. What we really need is a way to look forward. We need a direct test of what an AI can actually do on real tasks and put it head-to-head with a human expert.
And that is exactly the problem that a team at OpenAI decided to tackle. They went and built a whole new way to put AI to the test.
It's called GDP-Val, and you can pretty much think of it as the ultimate high-stakes job interview for an AI. It's a test built from the ground up to evaluate models on the kind of messy, valuable, real-world tasks that professionals get paid to do every single day.
Now, it's one thing to say you're going to build the ultimate AI test. It's a whole other thing to actually pull it off. So how in the world did they do it?
Well, first they started incredibly broad. To make sure this wasn't just some niche test, they covered tasks from 9 major sectors of the U.S. economy. We're talking everything from finance and tech to healthcare and education, the whole shebang.
From there, they zoomed in. Within those sectors, they pinpointed 44 different high-earning, knowledge-based jobs. Lawyers, software developers, management consultants, the kinds of roles where expertise is everything. And this is where the scale just gets mind-boggling. They created a library of 1,320 different professional tasks for the AIs to tackle, each one designed to be a mirror image of a genuine work request.
But here's the secret sauce, the thing that makes this so legit. These tasks weren't just made up in a lab. They were designed by seasoned industry veterans from places like Goldman Sachs, Google, and Disney. People who had, on average, 14 years of experience in their fields. These are the real deal.
And just to make sure every single task was bulletproof, they put them through this incredibly intense quality control pipeline. Look at this thing. It starts with an expert, then gets screened by a model, then reviewed by a person, then reviewed by another expert in that specific field, and then goes through a final feedback loop. Talk about thorough.
Okay, so the test is built. The tasks are ready. It was time for the main event. The showdown, putting the AI in the ring with human experts.
And the rules here were designed to be as fair as possible. Here's how it worked. An AI model and a human pro get the exact same task. They both do the work, then their final deliverables are sent to other experts in the same field who act as judges. And here's the key. The judges have no idea which one was made by the human and which one was made by the AI. It's a totally blind taste test. All they do is answer one simple question. Which one is better? And from that, you can calculate the AI's win rate.
So, after all that meticulous setup, after all those tasks and all those expert reviews, who actually came out on top?
Okay, so the first major finding is that these models are getting better, and they're getting better fast. You can see this really clear, almost straight line of improvement from older models like GPT-4o all the way up to the latest GPT-5. That win rate against human experts just keeps on climbing with every new generation.
And this is the headline result. A human expert, by definition, is going to win or tie against another human about half the time. So that's our baseline, 50%. Now look how terrifyingly close these top models are getting. The latest GPT-5 scored a 39% win plus tie rate, but Claude Opus 4.1, it hit 47.6%. That is just a stone's throw away from matching human-level performance on these really hard tasks. It's unbelievably close. So if they're that close, why are they still losing? This chart is fascinating. The number one reason the models lost might not be what you think. It wasn't hallucinations. As you can see from that big bar on the left, the most common reason was just failing to follow instructions precisely. They'd miss a specific detail in the prompt or mess up the formatting. That was the key weakness, more than anything else.
Okay, so what does this all mean? We've got AIs that are almost as good as experts, but not quite there yet. What does that mean for how we work? Like tomorrow?
This is where it gets really practical. The study modeled a couple of different workflows. If you just try the AI once and then have a human fix its mistakes, you already get a nice little bump in speed and cost savings. But check this out. If you have the AI try a few times to get a better draft before you step in to polish it, the numbers get way better. We're talking a nearly 1.4x speedup and a 1.6x improvement in cost. That's a huge deal.
The big message here is crystal clear. This isn't about AI replacing people, not yet anyway. It's about augmentation. Right now, the magic formula is pairing a powerful AI assistant with a sharp human expert who's in the driver's seat. That's how you can make really complex work a whole lot faster and cheaper.
And this quote from the report really just says it all. When the best models failed, it usually wasn't because the work was total garbage. Most of the time, it was just acceptable, but subpar. It's like a B- student. This tells you something really deep about where AI is at. It's an incredible synthesizer, it's great at gathering the pieces, but it still lacks that final polish, that nuanced judgment that a true expert brings to the table.
Which leaves us with one final, absolutely massive question to think about. We've just seen a clear, steady, linear path of improvement that has brought AI right to the edge of human expert performance. So, if it's already this close, what happens when that line keeps going up? What does our world look like when AI doesn't just match human experts, but actually surpasses them across the board?